All right, welcome back to the Ja Live channel. I am, of course, Ja, and we are working towards the 100-day live guitar practice streams. We are now actually on day 60. I can't believe it. We're on day 60. But, just 40 more days now, so 10 days over halfway. So I'm just stoked every time I get on here and, say the new number. It's like, wow, man, I can't believe I'm still going. I'm still doing this. So, because I just won't even get into that. But yeah, just super stoked. We're on day 60. Thank you all so much for joining me. I greatly appreciated it. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do so just real quick. It's easy to find my content in the future if you're subscribed. So, but we're going to go ahead and hop on into it. That way you can learn some tips and some exercises about power chords and the CAGED system. So let's go ahead and get into the power chords to start. Basically, with the power chords, you have basically the root and then the number 5. So it looks like, A5, B5, C5, D5, E5, F5, or G5. So again, you can play those all over the neck. There's not just like one spot that you can play, an A5 power chord. As long as it's the A and the fifth note away from that root. So you got A, 5 notes away would be your E. Here's a G5. Here your G, then 5 notes away, you have your D. So it's the same position everywhere you go. That's what's pretty great about it. You just got the index finger and the ring finger. One's on the 6th string. The index finger's on the 6th string. The ring finger is on the 5th string. We're skipping a fret. So we're doing a whole step. And it's the same position everywhere. So this is like a C5. Whatever your index finger is on, that's, what you're playing. So this is a C note. This is on the 5th note away. So this is a C5, B5, A5, G5, F5. So yeah, just playing around with those. Let's see here. Just practice sliding around and just repping out all of these different power chords. Just using the 5th and the 6th string right now. We'll find some of the other ways to play them here in a minute, but right now, this is an hour-long practice session, so let's take at least 5 minutes, maybe like 10 minutes. Just play around on these power chords on the 5th and the 6th string. Then we'll look and try to find some of them elsewhere on the neck of the guitar as well. Okay, still just playing around with that. Still want to spend some more time doing that. So just as you're sliding around, just practice your fretboard memorization as well. So you can, be mindful of the root that you're on. Don't just slide around that position. Be mindful that no, that's a G5 or that's an A5 or, whatever it might be. All right, now if you do, it's mostly been on the fifth and the sixth string. If you use the fourth and the fifth string, it is the exact same like hand positioning. So you've got your index, for example, will be on the fifth fret here with the index. The ring finger will be a whole step away, and it'll be on the fourth string. You can put your middle finger down on the string behind it for support. It's just a trailing finger, so it's not the one that rings out. Obviously, it's the other one, but you want to put it down. I've been practicing, kind of keeping it up, but I'm starting to think that that's maybe bad practice. Maybe I should keep that down so that way it's there for support for bends or just for pressure on the string for ringing it out. Whatever it might be. But the trailing finger should be down, right? The leading finger can't be down because then I'm on a different fret. But the trailing fingers, I think, should try to be down as much as genuinely possible in real practice. So, but it's the same shape, and you're still doing that root and 5 notes away. So that fifth. So E, 5 notes away would be your B. D, 5 notes away would be A. C, G, F, C, G, D, A, E. So just playing those power chords. Again, it's the root and then the fifth note. So you got your E 5 notes away. E, you got E, F, G, A, B. E and B. So it's the same position on. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's the same positioning on strings 5 and 6, like we've already done. Same positioning on strings 4 and 5. Anywhere, it's always going to be, your root and your fifth with the index and the ring a whole step away. On the fourth and the fifth. Then if you go to the strings 3 and 4, it's also the exact same. A and E, G and D, F and C, A and E, B and F sharp, C and G. And then for strings 1 and 2, it's also that same way. So really, the easy way to remember this is the only oddball in this scenario would be strings if you want to play power chords on strings 2 and 3. If you want to play power chords on strings 2 and 3, you don't any longer use your index and your ring finger. You would use your index finger and your pinky finger. So rock and roll. So, for example, again, this is on strings 2 and 3. So let's go to the 5th fret, 3rd string for your index finger. That's a C note. See, if you put down you need the G note. If you put down your ring finger like before, going a whole step away, since that's that B string, same with the pentatonic scale, all that, it kind of, makes things kind of shift a little bit, I guess. So on strings 2 and 3, you would use your index finger here on this C note, 5th fret, 3rd string, and then instead of your ring, you put down your pinky. So you got a step and a half. There's your C and your G, or your D and your A, or your E and your B, or your F and your C, or your G and your D, or your A and your E, B and F sharp, C and G. So see, that's an easy way to remember it. So strings 5 and 6, same shape. Strings 4 and 5, same shape. Strings 3 and 4, same shape with the index in the ring. Strings 2 and 3, this is the oddball. Strings 2 and 3 is the oddball. It's the rock and roll instead. It's the index finger and the pinky for those power chords. But then once you get back to strings 1 and 2, it's again back to the index finger and the ring finger. And that'll always be in that same positioning. That'll always be your root and your fifth. So those are one way of playing your power chords. So whatever. All right. Now let's find other ways of playing these power chords, so that way we don't always have to do it with the rock and roll position on strings 2 and 3, or if it's on any of the other string combinations of 1 and 2, string combinations of 3 and 4, 4 and 5, or 5 and 6, then it would be the index and the ring finger here. But again, as long as you're playing the root and the fifth at the same time, then that's a power chord. So it doesn't have to be with that same positioning all the time. So for example, up here, if I hold down on the 2nd fret, 5th string, that's a B note. Well, a string above it, if I just play the open chord, that's an open E chord, right? That low 6th string, open E chord. So if you have an open E chord and a B, E and B, just like when you would play E and B right here, or when you would play E and B right here, or when you would play E and B right here, those are all E5 power chords. Well, this E, B is also an E5 power chord. So you're playing it with just one finger. All these other fingers aren't doing anything. So open E and B, and then you play your open A and your E. Open A and E, or you have open D and A. You have open G and D. Then you have open G and D. Then you have open B and F sharp. So it's a B5, G5, D5, A5, E5. Okay. So many ways of playing it. Again, you got the index and ring for most of the positioning, I would say. And then you have your rock and roll hand shape with the first finger and the fourth finger, the index and the pinky, if it's string combinations of 2 and 3, because you need that step and a half rather than just that whole step. And then if you wanted to play it on the second fret, mostly on the second fret, again on that B string, you got to come over here to the third fret. But mostly on the second fret, you can play power chords. You can play power chords with just the index finger on the second frets. All right. So let's just keep repping that out for a little bit longer. And then we'll transition into the next exercise. So stay tuned for that. Just practice sliding around, moving to different string combinations. Just get comfortable with that moving, sliding up and down, bouncing from different string sets and keeping that same shape. Just get comfortable doing those things, crawl before we walk, walk before we jog, jog before we run, run before we sprint. So just kind of get comfortable moving around, right? We're just trying to bond with the guitar during these 100 days. We're not trying to play any songs or mimic any other people's art per se, here or there, sure, but that's not the intent. The intent is just to do a lot of fundamental things. Just get comfortable with the guitar and bond with it. So practice your power chords and just sliding around and moving. Again, just sliding around and getting comfortable. I know the sound isn't probably super beautiful and rhythmic and things like that right now, but again, I'm a beginner, so just trying to get comfortable with it. These 100 days. I'm only on day 60 right now. 60 days. That's basically 60 hours. So, I'll get there. Baby steps. Laying brick after brick after brick. Just real quick, as I'm looking at my exercises for the day, that reminds me, in my detailed comment section below, or the pinned comment, I always put the like a detailed description of my exercises. So like you'll see down there the power chords and the A5, B5, C5, D5, E5, F5, and G5 and things like that, and the different combinations that I'm doing. So every video I have, always check the pinned comment for a little bit of explanation on what I'm doing. So I just wanted to throw that out there so that way to check that. Also, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. That way it's easy to find my content in the future, and you can figure out okay, what day is he on now, or maybe you want to practice your guitar daily and you're like, I need a new exercise for spider drills, or I need a new exercise for the cage system or something like that. Okay, well, if you're subscribed to my channel, it's easy to find my content again. You can scroll through all my videos that I've made and find the video with the title and the thumbnail that you're looking for, and boom, there you go. You have more exercises and more tips available to you. So from a beginner to a beginner, that's why I'm here, I guess. I see a lot of these other professionals that have been doing guitar for 15, 20 years, and they're shredding, they're great already, and they're trying their best to teach a beginner, but they're so advanced at that point, it's kind of hard for them to dial their brains back a little bit. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to put some videos out there as a beginner learning it myself, and as I discover things, I kind of talk to you and tell you about them, and in return I hope that you will comment below and let me know your thoughts on the things that I talk about, the things that I say, my technique, the guitar itself, the ambiance in the room, things like that. Anything about the video at all, I would appreciate comments. I need that feedback for critiquing and growth. Critiquing is not a bad thing. That's a poorly misunderstood word, and people kind of like look at it like, oh, like constructive criticism, like, oh, but no, it's a good thing. So no, please comment below. Let me know your thoughts. It's a blessing to read them. Seriously, thank you so much in advance. I'm looking forward to seeing them. And then also, boop that like button just to help a friend out. Allows the YouTube algorithm to know that my video is liked from other people. So make sure you hit the like button just to help a friend out, no matter what. Thank you so much for that understanding. Anyways, let's get back into why we're here, and we all would know that. We all know what that is. That's to get comfortable with this thing here. It's called a guitar. It's called a guitar. All right, not that southern. All right, let's see here. Now I want to transition into the major and minor chords with the CAGED system. So, as we all know, we can do all the open chords up here. C, A, G, E, D. Okay. But as we know with the other videos, if you haven't checked out my other videos on the CAGED system just yet, make sure you double back and check those out. It gives more, insight. So, but as we know with that, we can do, those chords, CAGED, C, A, G, E, D, in different positions on the neck of the guitar. So that way we're not locked in to just doing everything way up here on frets 1, 2, and 3. Basically, we can do things on all these other frets as well. So, for example, we'll start with C, since that's the beginning of CAGED. So here we have CAGED, and we know within a C shape we have what notes? C, E, and G. Okay, so if you have C, E, and G, it doesn't matter if you stay here or if you go somewhere else. As long as you're playing C, E, and G notes, you're fine. That's what it takes to make a C chord. So you could go here, for example, C, E, and G, make this shape here being a whole fret away. Fretting nothing but C, E, and G's. So that's a C chord. You got another C chord here with this G shape. And as we know from the other videos, the G positioning hand shape with the bar chord, for me right now, one of the hardest shapes to do, and it kind of hurts my wrist and stuff up here. So, yeah, because the G shape here, when I play it with my index finger, not too bad. But when I have to play it with my pinky way down here, for example, to play this, where do you get that C chord here, and when I got to bar this finger here, it's a whole fret away. It's not here, it's here, because right, you need your C, E, and G's. See my stickers? There's my C, E, and G's. Need to be a whole step. So you have to do the G shape with your fingers here, and then you have to bar it a whole fret away. So it's just a lot on the fingers and the wrist all at one time. So I'll get there eventually, but right now. Like 2 strings are ringing out. It's just too much of a stretch for me. But that is a way to play the C chord if I can just get my technique proper. All right, so then after that one, you have another C chord here in this E positioning, right? C, E, G. All right, and then last but not least, you have it here in this D, making the hand is in the D shape positioning with a bar, but it's still that C chord. All right, so you have 5 spots now to play just the C chord. C, this funky G position. Sound a little better there almost. Another C. Another C. Okay. So there you go. That's the C in CAGED being used in 5 different spots, and that's just up to like here. I'm sure, once I start really discovering this, I'm sure there's another, well, it's just duplicated, so there'd be another 5 positions here. I just gotta cram the fingers together better. So I'll learn those at another time. But really everything's just duplicated. So yeah. You just have to you have the knowledge once you can play everything up here. You have the knowledge. You just need the technique. So you're already halfway there. So just be patient with yourself, right? Everything takes time. All right, so we just did C and CAGED. Let's go with the A chords now. So let's do the A in a different spot. Where's another position on the neck that we can play that A chord? So here on frets 2, A, C sharp, and E. But you could also do it here. G, A, G, there we go. And the bar. It's tough. So that's an A chord as long as it's those three notes. And an A chord takes what three notes? It's A, C sharp, and E. A, C sharp, and E. So here we go. Look in these two rows here. We need A, C, and E. A, C sharp, and E. So here's a bunch of A, C sharps, and E's here. All right, the red ones are A's, the yellow ones are E's, and these half white, gray, whatever you want to call that, and half purple ones are your C sharps. So you got C sharp, A, and E. Boom. So, third way. So here's the first way. Here's the second way. Here's the third way. And then here's a fourth way to play the E or the A chord with A, C sharp, and E notes ringing out. So that's A, C sharp, and E's. And then lastly, we got here this shape. C shape, but still an A chord. So again, A, A, A. A, A. All right, so that's the A chords and its various positions all over the neck. So what's the next letter? You had C, we just did A. Next we have G. So G in the normal position is up here like this on frets 2 and 3. Middle and pinky are on frets 3, index fingers on fret 2. And another G shape would be, or G chord. Okay, so again, you have the G here, G here, G here, G here. As long as it's G, B's, and D's. So again, you can play all of these chords in various spots on the neck of this guitar. So again, we got the G up here, like we've known for a while. All right, and right next door, we have another G. As long as it's those three notes. G, B, and D. After that, we go down here to the D shape, but still a G chord. And then another G chord. Another G chord. Okay, so again, just showing you that you can play all of these chords in different positions on the neck. So that's the G in 5 different spots on the neck. Next, let's go into the E, right? You got C, A, G, E for caged system, C-A-G-E-D. Caged. We just did G, so now we're on E. Here's a E with the open chords, standard. Nails are getting long, I need to clip my nails. All right, but now what is the E chord made up of? What are the notes? E, G sharp, and B. So again, as long as we're playing those three notes, we can play it in multiple spots on the neck of the guitar. So here we are. Here's another one. E, G sharp, B, with another E. Okay. And you have another one here. E, G sharp, B's, another E. So you get the D positioning, but still an E chord. C positioning, but still an E chord. When I say positioning, I mean like the way the hand kind of shapes and looks to do it. So this is the hand's doing the D, right? Because if this is a D, this is an E when you bar it. Then you got your E chord, but in your C positioning, right? The hand's making that diagonal line like a C would, right? We slide up here, do your C chord, get the diagonal line. Okay, then come down here to your E chord, get that diagonal line, and you bar it. So you got three spots. You got the standard position that we always know about, here and here. After that, we have it here. Remember, E, G sharp, and B's. And then, lastly, we have, just got lost. E. Here we go. E. It's that hard one. It's that G shape that I don't like. Not too comfortable with this one yet, but it is here. My technique's just sloppy, but yes, it's the E's, the G sharps, and the B's. So, yeah, there's the 5 different spots with the E chord. E, E, G sharp, B. And then here, E, G sharp, B. Another E. Another one. And lastly, that G shape. All right, let's tilt this down just a hair. I got another idea. Put my little stool here. Slide a little closer. In these last couple minutes here, I'm going to continue doing the same thing, but I wanted to grab a little stool so that way I can do this slap drill that I like to do. If you've seen some of my previous videos, you've probably seen me do this drill. I think it's really beneficial when trying to understand what your hand needs to do and build that muscle memory. So now that we're doing a lot of bar chords, I want to do this slap drill with the bar chords, so that way I can get comfortable again playing these chords all over, and I'm doing it quicker and more seamlessly. So let's just kind of pick a shape. Let's do the C shape. Let's just rep it out on different frets. I want to do it on the 7th fret here. I'm going to do it 10 times. Well, I say that. I don't know. I'll do it a few times. Okay, did I do it 10 times? Okay, now let's go up here to the 5th fret. Try this F chord. FACs. And just trying to rip out the C shape with the bar chord. Because typically I would play my C chord with the free pinky and utilizing my index. But when I need that bar chord, I have to use my pinky and my index, both. So just trying to do that slap drill to build that familiarity with the C shape using different fingers. Okay, C chord with other fingers work for me. Okay, let's go up here to the 3rd fret. Do that C shape. Because remember, the frets are slightly further apart up here, and they get closer and closer and closer and closer together as you go up the guitar. So I'm just trying to practice the C shape, a couple different spots on the guitar, just to rip it out. This little practice drill here, trying to get that dexterity, that muscle memory understood, my fingers in hand on how to do. Not the C chord, I've got the C chord down, but the barred C chord, I don't, utilizing that pinky. So let's make sure we're repping those out. C, A chord, but C shape. Come on. Hair itches my face often. If anyone knows of any like sponsorship places that do like hair donations to children or even adults or whoever that has maybe some type of hair condition where they lose their hair or they have cancer or something like that. If anyone knows of any organizations or links, put them down below in the comment section. I'd greatly appreciate that. Whenever it's getting a little warmer, getting to be that warm time of year, so I've had this long hair for a couple years now, and it's just getting longer and longer, obviously. So I don't know, when that hot weather gets out there and I start working out and stuff and it's getting stuck to my skin and face, and it's just, I don't know. So I might have to trim it down. So I'd like to donate it though and give it to a good cause, someone in need. I think that would be really cool. So especially with everything that my family's going through and things like that. So I'd like to be able to give back. So anyways, if anyone knows any links to that type of stuff, let me know in the comment section below. I'd appreciate it. So yeah, anyways, just make sure you also do the cage system with the slap drill, so that way you can build up that understanding of how to do the C chord and all these different spots and how the fingers have to get kind of closer and closer and closer together. And then you can go, to the A chord. And you can try to figure out how to bar it in all the different spots, because you could crunch all the fingers together and play your bar. And for some people, that might be a good technique. For me, I got little fat, stubby fingers, so I can't really jam, all three of these fingers side by side. So I'm going to start trying to figure out how to use my ring finger and lay it flat enough for it to bar across three strings of its own. So, for example, like this C chord here with the C, E, and G's. Just kind of slap drill that up here on the 3rd, 5th, 7th, and 9th, just to kind of get those different fret spacings, and do the slap drill like 10 times on each. 2, 3, 4, 5. And see, every now and then you need to do the arpeggio, so that way you can hear if you need to make a micro adjustment. Okay, so do it 10 times there, do it 10 times here. Okay, and that's it with the A in the different positions. Then the G one, right? I'm spelling cage, C-A. We just did C, then we did A. Now we're on the G. The G one, I don't play that in a lot of different spots because, again, right now it's hurting my wrist. Once I get really comfortable with all these other bars and stuff, I'm sure my technique will be a little bit better, so I can double back to the G position bars. And then I'll perfect those. But right now I'm kind of skipping over the G's. But then you can do the same thing with the E positioning and the D positioning with the slap drill. And make sure you do that in different little increments on the neck as well. Again, so that way you're, doing it here with the wide gaps and then doing it here with the more narrow gaps, and your hands have to make, adjustments. So make sure you're you don't have to do it on every single one. You can, that's great too, if you have the time and you have the, willpower to do so. But if you just want to do it on like maybe the markers, 3, 5, 7, 9, 12, that's cool too. But yeah, make sure you're repping those out as well. Again, just trying to learn the cage system so that way we don't have to be stuck right here in these bottom frets, but we can go up higher and play the C chord, A chord, G chord, E chord, and D chord in all these different positions. So we started off with the power chords. We ended with the cage system. That's going to be a wrap for today's hour practice session. Thank you all so much for joining. I greatly do appreciate that anytime someone tunes in. Again, we are on day 60. We're working our way towards 100. So thank you all for tuning in and being a part of my journey. I hope you're picking up the guitar yourself and starting the journey and challenging yourself. I really, really hope anything I'm saying or any tips and exercises that I'm handing out are beneficial to somebody. So anyways, if you haven't subscribed, just real quick, make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's easy to find my content in the future if you are subscribed. Comment below to get a community of like minds speaking. Lastly, go ahead and boop that like button just to help a friend out. That's always appreciated. Also, with these floating videos on the screen now, you can click on them to continue following my journey. I always appreciate the support. You got my entire catalog here, and you got the subsequent video here. So, but until next time, I'm out. Take care of yourselves and each other. I love you. Peace out. Take care.